You see, to speak about the northern, to share the beauty of northern Kenya, but also to share the plight of northern Kenya is something that I'm really personally passionate about. And to bring it out in a beautiful way instead of people feeling sorry for us, I want you to feel hopeful. I want the Kenyans to feel hopeful about northern Kenya. Hi, my name is Ahmed Kura Omar. I'm the Kenya country director and co-founder of KDEF, Kenya Drylands Education Fund. I started Kenya Drylands Education Fund mostly to uplift or lift education standards in northern Kenya, which is really concerning. I felt education will be the best way out of poverty for my community, and I partnered with a friend of mine to fully start it to give opportunities to kids in northern Kenya so that they can earn their dreams through their education or their career paths. I've been in the development work for the last 14 years, running a different organization, doing women's economic empowerment. I always had passion for education. I have been fortunate enough to be sponsored by somebody, and without that I would be where I am or who I am today. And I've always felt that I needed to do something about the education status in northern Kenya. So I started this about 4 years ago. I came running it fully about 2 years ago, running Kenya Drylands Education Fund, which is already peaking. It's very rare to find men, especially from the pastoralist communities, support women or the girl child. I have, particularly through my work, observed this and have seen the plights and the disadvantages that women have and face every day, the challenges that they face every day to achieve their goals. And in that, started several programs to help the women and now helping the girls through their education. Girls have received quite some support in enrollment, but it's evident that they hardly make it to higher education, and most of them actually don't make it to high school. It's concerning, it's unfortunate that we are leaving out more than half the population in participating in the economic activity, and this world will be better for all of us if we let women participate and be who they are. So I started off with women's economic empowerment, which I've been running for the last 12 years. And I then switched on to education, where I designed a program that is holistic, in that we have several programming. We start off with enrollment of learners into school and mobilizing communities in northern Kenya to enroll learners, and especially girls, into school. And then ensuring that we create a conducive learning environment for learners in those schools. We build classrooms, we build sanitation facilities, we build dormitories to accommodate these kids and ensure that they have a place to stay. And we also ensure that we give them materials like menstrual hygiene pads. One of the biggest program that we run at Kenya Drylands Education Fund is the Opportunity Kit program, where we're providing menstrual hygiene kits to girls who most of the time will miss school. At an average, a girl will miss 4 days of school each month. If you calculate it by year, the girl is losing almost 2 months of schooling. And that's a huge loss for the girl child, and we felt it was important for us to come and make it easy for them so that they can never miss their classroom and they can compete with the boys and stay at par. And in that, we also then have the high school scholarship program, which ensures that a child leaves primary school and goes into secondary school. We also have a college fund that helps the same children go into university and college so that now they can achieve their dream career. And the goal is to ensure that they are self-reliant and that they can come back to their communities and ensure that they support their people, educate many kids. So some of the challenges that I face while working in the North helping these students and girls. Number one will be the culture. The culture has it that, women are meant to be wives and mothers, and that ensuring that they stay in school is a huge challenge, because then the culture works against you. There are issues like female genital mutilation. There are issues like child marriages that happens, and it gets really difficult keeping these girls in school. And we have to spend a lot of resources and time in ensuring that the retention in schools happens. Another challenge is that the buy-in from the locals within the country of organization led by local people sometimes is not there. The funding is not available locally for locally led organizations, and that getting the funding locally has been completely difficult. To be honest, we got only about 2 supporters who are local, who are sponsoring this, some of our students. And we also I'm forced to go and speak in the US or outside Kenya, speak on Instagram to get the support for our work. We get the moral support in Kenya and with the locals, and the locals see us as like the game changer and the biggest impact within their communities, but unfortunately we are not celebrated at home. So getting funding locally from corporates and other funders gets a little bit hard, and we have to get out of the country to go and look for the funds to implement such a project. As you can clearly see, the Kenya Drylands Education Fund has started a center, and I wanted this organization to be grassroots. I wanted it to be deeply rooted within these communities, and I wanted it to be part of the community, and that they can talk to us about their challenges. We moved our offices from central part of the country to the grassroots here, so that we can listen to the communities even much closer and reason with them. We have a public participation forum that happens every year. Our program also has a wash component. We provide water in schools. We actually deliver water to the villages during drought. But unfortunately, all this support comes from other regions and other foundations outside the country. We partner with the local government, partner with the national government, but you don't see anything that is financial or that is an idea coming to you, rather than just us, talking and having these discussions together. So unfortunately, the support locally, financially, even with ideas, with training, isn't there. The will is, but those people who have the funding and who have the capability actually are not there. We would like to definitely approach Safaricom Foundation and all these others. You write to them, and unfortunately, you don't get any funding. So funding is a big issue within the country for us. That's why we have this center that will serve also as an income generating source for us. We can host people during school, or when the schools are open and our students are not here, so that we can generate funds to run our center. But that said, we are willing to work with many partners who are out there, and if there's anybody out there who would like to do some really impactful work in the drylands of Kenya and to get to communities that others hardly get to, we are that organization that can actually get to the last mile. Yeah, so this year in February, as I was traveling from one location to another, we found ourselves in the middle of an ambush. About 50 young men, all armed, each one of them with a gun. And they came back from a failed raid, ambushed us, and we had 5 people in the car. I had to plead and negotiate and remind them of who I am and what I do, and unfortunately, they could not listen to me, and it felt like they did not want to do anything with me, because I came down and I spoke to them and I interacted with them. I gave them water, but it was very clear that they wanted to kill the occupants in the car, and I had to find myself out of that and drive off as fast as we could. But unfortunately, they shot us from the back, and we lost one person, and they shot me right in my arm from the back, and the bullet came through my flesh. Luckily, it did not break my bones or go through the main veins, and I was able to survive. But we lost a young man the future, one of the futures of this country, someone who was aspiring to be a soldier for this country. And he was going to the next town to be recruited as a policeman. And unfortunately, we lost him through such a careless incident. But you know, for myself, while it's painful, I also do understand that circumstances forces communities to actually get into this. And if we had better systems that are working at the grassroots, and that we have government organs working together, if the government helped them in recovering back their livestock, or if the government was involved immediately, this would have been something that would have been arrested earlier, before everyone gets hurt. And unfortunately, they are not in control of what is happening in northern Kenya, and we have a lot of illegal guns out there, and that many are at risk. So very important for you to know, like if you're going from one town to the other, you know, where are the spots that you will actually need a security escort. At Kenya Violence Education Fund, we have ideas. And this is why we're building a center. And our center will host the first ever library in Marsabit County. And probably combining Marsabit and the entire Samburu North. The first ever library, bringing services closer to people, ICT support closer to people, and that ICT education is there. We want to bring in the reading culture to our people, and we've already built a library here. And with our program, we want to scale what we're already doing. Our program is holistic in a way that we have an enrollment drive, and also working on the attendance and the retention and then transition. The attendance and retention is contributed by the fact that we are creating conducive learning environment. So we bring in water. So it's a smart program. And in this, we are using technology, and to be specific, Salesforce, to ensure that we measure the impact of our program. And these are the ideas that we would like to bring to the North. Our library is here. It's not equipped. We look forward to fundraising and speaking to partners who can support us in equipping this library, and that children from this area, and including our sponsored students, can actually use this facility. Locals can come apply for jobs at the ICT center in our library, and that they can access information that is out there. And this is what we'd like to bring to the North. We will definitely need support, and local support. Any foundation or any institution or any individual that can help us make this happen for the pastoralist community. We don't believe in giving freebies. We don't believe in providing food aid. We believe in empowering people so that they can provide for themselves. And that's the essence and what drives us as an organization and myself as a leader, is that this community does not require food aid. We don't need Kenyans to Kenyans kind of initiative where people are provided food. We need initiative that can make sure that they will be sustainable now and in the future. And education is the way. And giving opportunities to girls is the way. Providing opportunities for library and improving the reading culture. From 90% illiterate population to about probably even just 10. So we need to push this up so that we can have more people who can read and write. When you can read and write and you're educated, you can make better choices for the women. We can elect good leaders as a community. We can always question our leaders for projects that does not happen. We can always get jobs. We have the wind farm, the Electrocana wind power. You go and look at it, and over 60% of the people working there are actually non-locals. Probably 90% of the technical jobs are done by non-locals. We have no problem with non-locals. We also want to take advantage of such opportunities as the community is coming from this area. This is our heritage, and we can't take advantage of it because of the illiteracy that is there. The livestock industry is hard, and that is no longer sustainable. We have raids, we have droughts, we have diseases. And from time to time, people end up going back to poverty. It's this cycle of getting out, in and out of poverty. And education will be the biggest equalizer, and that we can be part of this country if we can educate our masses. If we have a center in Nguronit, you can always come and visit us, stay with us. You can bring in corporates to come and visit our work and learn and see what we do. That is a smart idea for the people of Northern Kenya, run by locals, for the locals. It's about, it's a long drive, but not long for someone who's really committed. So it's tarmac all the way, and rough road, probably about 100 kilometers from Laisamis. So you travel from Nairobi, get to Isiolo, and from Isiolo you drive to Laisamis. Just within Laisamis, just after Laisamis, there's a turnoff. You take a left, and there's a road. You can follow Google Map, but you can ask around. There's also signboards that you can follow. Nguronit is located in one of the most beautiful places in this country, surrounded by mountains and with so many birds, bird life here. If you're interested in birds, interested in nature, if you're interested in one of the best natural swimming pool in the country, you can always visit us. Come stay with the community. We're also supporting local women through their basketry work. We buy these products from them so that we can actually help them put food on the table. The North has the potential. The North has the capability. The North is willing. And it needs all of us to support the North, be self-reliant and be independent, so that someday when someone is suffering somewhere in this world or in Kenya, the North can also give back in a way. To anyone who thinks education is not the way, and especially from my community, I speak in forums and I speak in local events and convince our communities, and they are all understanding that this is the way out of poverty. The nomadic life and the pastoralist life is not an easy life. In our villages, we go through so much. Many days of no water, women not getting empowered at all, women having many children and not practicing family planning. So much suffering just to put food on the table. And education can help you get into even smart agriculture. And the pastoralism life, while it's important for this country and the world, I think needs some sort of readjustment. And unfortunately, with the illiterate masses, we cannot get that. So education is the way we can uplift our community, raise the GDP, ensure that we have decent income, and ensure that we are recognized in this country. If you look at the top leadership in Kenya, you hardly see people from our tribes and the tribes coming from Marsabit or Samburu. We are very few of us who have gone to school. And those who have gone to school have done very well, and that they have better jobs, and that they're helping their families. For instance, I know of many girls that are taking care of their mothers and building homes for their mothers. And these are the dreams we would like to realize. And for any child out there, and especially from the drylands of Kenya, there is hope. Just keep pushing. If KDF may not help you, and because there are so many others that need, other foundations are there. Safaricom is there, for instance. The government programs are there to support you. You can always make it. Even 1 year of education can make a difference in your life, and that you can make better decisions. And the statistics are there and very clear, and that you will never go wrong with education. Try anything. Give money to someone. It can be stolen. They can lose it. But when you give someone that education, you empower them for life, and that they have something, a tool they can use to actually make themselves make a better person out of themselves. God has the potential, and that the will is there. And I remember one of my mentors telling me that you are not marginalized, you are endowed. And I believe in it because we fail to see what is around us, what God has given to us. And that if just given that opportunity, you will see the North shining. And I would like to see many kids, and that's my goal and dream, many kids prosper and provide for their families. That is exactly what I'd like to see for Northern Kenya. And that the children of Northern Kenya can embrace the new ideas that are there, can embrace technology, and they can bring development to their region. And that we can ensure our governments are accountable to us, and we can raise our voices in making sure that we get support. Healthcare in northern Kenya is wanting. If you hear about child mortality, infant mortality, all these things are coming out of northern Kenya. And if given that chance, and if given the education, we can make this difference, because with locals, and it starts with someone like me, a difference is seen. And if you have many Kuras, I am sure the North will change for the better.